Hello, and welcome to the Youth1 Studios for this week's edition of the Youth1 RoundUp, your source for in-depth youth sports coverage on the web. I'm Caitlin Lipkin, and on today's program, we're breaking down the #1 softball teams in the USSSA. But first, every week, Alan Papadines gives you the inside scoop on some of the top football players in the country with the Pops Report. Let's take it down to the field and see who's impressed him this week. What do you have for us, Alan?
Thanks, Caitlin. This week, I want to tell you about big Benjamin Shug Frazier out of Buford, Georgia, a 2011 Youth1 top offensive line and defensive line prospect. Frazier is a massive 6'2", 304 pounds, and always impresses coaches with his pure power and his deceptive speed. Recently, at Junior Ranks Atlanta camp, Frazier was matched up against high school athletes. He held his own there, winning many one-on-one battles. At the end of the camp, Frazier was challenged to a bench press competition by athletes who did not know he was only in 8th grade. To everybody's surprise, Shug benched 225 pounds numerous times, impressing coaches, scouts, and fellow athletes. For his performance at the camp, he was invited to Junior Ranks Prodigy Camp, which is the best of the best in Naples, Florida, this summer. Caitlin, I guarantee Shug will be making a big splash down in Georgia next year for his first year of high school ball. Let's send it back to you in the studios.
That's great stuff, Alan. He looks like a great candidate for our Elite 101 football list that we're releasing this summer at youth1.com. And remember, we're only a few minutes away from announcing the top teams in girls softball for 3 divisions. But first, we've got some insight from the boys on the mound as Matt Carl gets you up to speed on one of California's most successful baseball teams. What team do you like this week, Matt?
Thanks, Caitlin. Grant Baseball Academy has been a real surprise in this year's 12U circuits, winning their first 2 Super NIT titles right out of the gate before moving on to face 13U competition. They currently stand at 23-2, but are a perfect 12-0 against in-class competition, scoring 10 runs per game and allowing just 2. This team exhibits a true team mentality from top to bottom, and that's why they're currently ranked as Youth1's #2 team in the nation in the 12U age group. There may be no better proof of this than when they won the 13U March Madness tournament without star player Robert Brew. Caitlin, winning has become a theme for these guys, and they might be one of the best teams we've seen in Northern California in years. Now back to you.
Thanks, Matt. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on them this season. But for now, we're heading from the pitcher's mound to the ice as Dan Leo recaps our youth hockey game of the week. This week, Dan fills us in on all the action from a matchup between Hockey Essentials and DHI Octane in the championship game of the USHL Young Guns Tournament.
Thank you, Caitlin. In the championship game of the USHL Young Guns Tournament, Hockey Essentials and DHI Octane met for the second time in as many days, and the game certainly lived up to the hype. DHI held a 1-0 lead after the first 23 minutes of play when forward Patrick Harper put the first goal on the board. Down 1 after 1, Hockey Essentials came out firing in the second and tied the game up 50 seconds in on a goal from defenseman Andrew Petrillo. The score remained tied at 1 until the 6-minute mark when Hockey Essentials forward Timmy Clifton netted the game-winning goal to help lead his team to a 2-1 win. In addition to clutch performances of Petrillo and Clifton, goalie Logan Kramsky had a stellar game in his 23 minutes of action. Congratulations to all members of Hockey Essentials on an impressive weekend. Caitlin, back to you.
Sounds like a great game. Thanks, Dan. And congratulations to both teams and to their talented players. Speaking of talented players, our basketball analyst, Chris Hunt, has been on the lookout for America's most promising hoopsters. We're throwing it out to him as he brings us some amazing hardcourt talent in this week's edition of Nothing But Net.
Thanks, Caitlin. As June quickly approaches, the highly anticipated AAU National Championships are just around the corner. As returning champions and bitter runner-ups from grades 2 through 12 make their preparations for this year's events, one team in particular is primed for a strong run in the 8th grade division. That team is the Indy Hoosiers. The Hoosier program had a great summer last year in the Nationals, winning the 6th grade division and placing 3rd in the 7th grade division. That 7th grade team lost to eventual champions Louisiana Select in the Final Four, 50-35, and have not forgotten about that loss since. Now 8th graders, the Indy Hoosiers are the 3rd seed in this year's Nationals, and behind the play of phenomenal guard Aaron Gordon, the younger brother of New Orleans Hornets guard Eric Gordon, their eyes are set on the rematch with the #1 seeded Select in the championship bracket. In other words, it's going to be a can't-miss tournament, Caitlin. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Stay tuned, softball fans. It's almost time to break down USSSA softball's #1 Division A teams in the nation. First, we're heading out to our wrestling expert, Ryan Lance, who's recapping one of the biggest meets of the year, the Ohio Tournament of Champions. Tell us about it, Ryan.
Thank you, Caitlin. Last weekend at the Ohio Tournament of Champions, over 2,700 wrestlers competed for the prestigious title. The entire field was talented, but standing out was Cade Olivas from Glendora, California. To me, Olivas may be the best in the country. He certainly looked it in Ohio, earning 5 wins. His record now stands an amazing 217-1 on the season. He's a rare talent with 7 national and 3 state titles. There's no doubt that we could see him competing for Team USA in the Olympics, or as a nominee for the 2012 Youth1 Male Athlete of the Year Award. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Ryan. And now the moment all you softball fanatics have been waiting for. All show has been leading up to this, the USSSA softball rankings. We at Youth1 are bringing you the #1 ranked team in the U14, U12, and U10 divisions. Softball is a passion and way of life for a lot of girls, and the national rankings are proof that hard work and dedication can take you to the top. Starting in the U14 age group, Youth1 would like to congratulate the Nebraska Nemesis 97 from Lincoln, Nebraska, a team with a talented roster of girls and great coaching. Now these ladies have won their last 3 tournaments and lead the USSSA in total points this year, and they've gotten there because of their deep talent. Lindsay Christ, who has 3 home runs this year, Elena Mayer, their center fielder, is batting .500, and Mackenzie Hellman is clutch and is batting over .900 with runners in scoring position. In the U12 division, our #1 ranked team is also from the Cornhusker State. It's the Nebraska Fury from Omaha. Their team batting average is close to .500, which is incredible. The Fury also give up less than 2 runs per game and score almost 7. And these are just a couple of the reasons that they've won their last 2 tournaments. Finally, we've got the #1 team in the 10U division, the KC Core Squad from Blue Springs, Missouri. This team is coached by Tavares Allen, Sean Hobson, and Steve Medrano, and they are coming into this spring season on a real roll. They were the champions of their last 3 fall tournaments and recently went 5-0 at the Sandlot Classic. Congratulations to all 3 #1 ranked teams and to all the other great groups of girls out there. Keep swinging and we'll be sure to notice. That's all for this week's edition of the Youth1 Sports Roundup. For Alan, Matt, Chris, Dan, Ryan, Steve, and the whole Youth1 team, I'm Caitlin Lipkin. Keep checking in to youth1.com and we'll see you next time.
Youth1, that's a wrap.